What it is, what it is. I'm your main man, Michael D, aka Stony Mike. I'm here to talk to you about my stoned perspective. And what I'm about to give you right now is my little thoughts, my little prayers about the future of Star Wars. I've been seeing a lot here lately. I mean, a lot. Absolutely tremendously. And gotta say, I like it. I like what I see. With John Favreau taking the lead in a lot of things and Filoni being right there beside him, I believe we may have a Star Wars that everyone can enjoy. Not just one group of people, not just this person, but everyone can enjoy. And here lately, I've seen nothing but a lot of shitty things being said. Listen, regardless of how you feel about Kathleen Kennedy, I have a lot to angrily say about her. I still feel like, you know, we should be a little bit more respectful about her leaks because we don't want her to be a snake that bites us in the ass and other things. Try to get her to be as nice as possible because I feel like they're going to just stick her somewhere else. From what I've read, from what I've gathered, they just want to stick her somewhere else. But let's go ahead and get over here to this article here. So, this article here is talking about where the Ahsoka show, which I am a big fan of Ahsoka. I have been the hugest fan of Ahsoka for a while. And I started when I got into the Clone Wars. It took me a while to actually watch the whole Clone Wars show. It took me a minute to actually get to watching it, and I watched it. Thought her fucking character was amazing, and now we got Rosario Dawson playing. So that's wonderful, amazing. Okay, well, Star Wars leaker making Star Wars suggests the upcoming Ahsoka will reveal Grand Admiral Thrawn and Ezra Bridger spent time after their disappearance in Rebels in a place called the New Beyond or New Space. Now, from what I know about that is that's like an area that's essentially like beyond the outer rim and all that stuff, and it's like um, more from what I've been briefly briefed on, it's more of a magic. They kind of dwell off the force in a more magic type way, like say like a wizard, as opposed to uh, your your average. I mean, I did a no no. I did a big no no. As I got to talking about this, I forgot I had uh, my little card cap dab stick here still attached to my email, and my email is getting hot. Which, by the way, I'm gonna go ahead and get into smoking a little bit of something, because I can't give you a stone perspective without being super stoned. I'm already stoned, as you can tell by my voice, but I like the idea of them bringing Grand Admiral Thrawn and Ezra Bridger, and I think I saw like it was Mads Mikkelsen. They either imagined or they really had him playing Thrawn. One of the two. Let's see. It's a completely new and unexplored area of the Star Wars universe that views and uses the Force differently. If this rumor is true, it would change the Star Wars universe as we know it. The borders of the galaxy far, far away have never been well defined, allowing for an endless number of planets and moons to serve as a backdrop for two of its stories. So yeah, and see that's in the why I wish they would have not stained the Skywalker saga so bad as they did. It was really horrible. They stained it, and the people who were involved know who they are. Cough cough Ryan Johnson. Cough cough Kathleen Kennedy. Cough cough everybody that she fucking just wanted to throw in there with them. Thrawn's homeworld in the non-canonical Legends timeline was dubbed the Unknown Regions. So that could be what this new space refers to. That would be interesting if they show the Chiss homeworld. I believe that's how you would say his species name. That'd be very interesting. Yeah. Regardless to say, my hopes on this whole thing. That is still fucking piping hot. Holy hell! I grabbed that thing, thinking, "Oh, that ain't gonna be hot." That thing is fucking hot. Holy shit! That's a wake up call right there. You get woken the fuck up with that. That kind of heat. That burn my motherfucker. Mm. So, my hopes is that we still get to see some actual, wizards, some type of uh, magic users who are drawing off of the Force. Even something like some crazy, weird, because you see, I'm trying to remember the movie. It's an older Star Wars movie. It's really, really awesome. The There was an old hermit there, and all the little Ewoks. They were using magic and shit. That was the Force. That was the Force that they were using. It's just it was just different. Mm. Be real with you. That thing is piping hot. It burnt the dog shit out of my finger. So my main wish is really to just see Star Wars get back on that one that one track mind where it's all about the fans. I don't know where, because it's kind of convenient that they did a lot of weird things, especially for the Chinese release of the sequel trilogy. I'm not going to really talk too much about that, but it just seems like they were being very, very odd about a certain character. And they didn't really show him that much in their advertisement. And from what I have learned, they changed what he was supposed to be. And quite frankly, I just don't believe that that wasn't some kind of just weird ploys that they did to pretty much entertain an audience that wasn't really there, meaning the Chinese market. They didn't have an audience there. They never really did. And I think they found out that when they tried to appeal to that market, they lost here tremendously. And now, boom, 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 boppity boom, boom. What do you know? We got ourselves a motherfucking flop. I was gonna say like shit show, but there was a lot of people who liked it. So I will, I will let the sequel trilogy go. But I feel like we all know what needs to happen. And I mean, we all. Everybody collectively together as a whole in the fandom knows that this shit has to be erased. And we have to get the Filoni and Favreau verse busting the fuck out. We need that shit going now, ASAP. And I think honestly that's where we're gonna see because you got the one Bob going out and another Bob coming in, the one that was previously already there, but decided to step away and then come back like Superman, I guess. That's cooled down now. I can find my smoke. God damn. Damn, son. Anyway, let's move on into the libs of TikTok compilation. Man, I am fucking high as fuck. Yeah, whatever that means. Okay. Oh yeah. All right. Let's start back over the way over here. So yeah, you see the guy's name, Counter Revolution. You can see what it is. I'm gonna post the actual link in the description once I'm done with this. I just like to do these live so that way if I feel any, I can fucking re-edit them later. But boom. Let's see what this. I've seen other videos of her. I imagine she's going to talk about the difference between these two. I truly feel that. I've seen other videos of her, and from what I've gathered, she's really, really, really hung up on race to the point to where it's kind of like it brings the question to ask. Maybe you might be racist. You're worried about race entirely too much. Maybe you might be racist. You're worried about all these other people being racist. Maybe you might be the racist. But I digress. Let's go and get into this video. That is like I don't know what to say about that. You want problems, you create them, and then you look like that. And then here we have another person who doesn't look. I mean, I hate to be so judgmental on this, but don't she look like the girl that was just on there? Like, don't she look just like the same girl that was just on there? I really don't. Anyway, I'm going to show you some books in my third grade classroom with LGBT representation. Okay, so here we have yet again another weirdo who wants to bring sexualities into children's classes. And, you know, the human brain is not fully developed until they're 25 years of age. You know, that's when they're fully developed. You know? That sexuality usually comes around the teenage years. You know, not third grade for sure. I do believe that there should be a time for that birds and bees conversation, but that shouldn't be somebody who's so joyously in a very sinister way smiles about this. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something very sinister about that. A joy for it. And how would he feel if he knew there were so many who tried to fucking use that and turn it into so many different things, including one for pedophilia? You know, we recently saw that one stupid fuck who wanted to include that in there. You know, I wonder how Harvey Milk would feel about that. I have a feeling I know how he'd feel.
No! 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 No!
I have a feeling I am being sabotaged. I am. I'm being sabotaged. This thing is being absolutely phenomenally stupid. Let me go back. This is why I do these things live anyway, so that way I can edit out any kind of bullshit that I feel like I need to do. Alrighty. Actually, no. I'm not gonna go back. I'm gonna just fucking move on. Okay. So we're gonna talk about this chick here that I've been talking about anyway. We'll continue.
Because representation matters. Pride.
And, you know, I do think representation does matter among people who have developed and started to explore that part of their life. That's not happening unless you're forcing it, you know, unless you're pushing that off on them. Hey, you could speed it up by pushing it off on them, but why would you want to do that unless there's some type of predatorial nature behind that? See, that's why I'm saying there is something very disgusting and predatorial about a person who wants to do that, who wants to push and speed up the process of a child developing their sexuality, because that's what that does. You can't fucking argue it. Don't. That's the very psyche of that. Like, this is
The story
very.
of Harvey Milk and the rainbow flag is a true story of how the rainbow flag came to be a symbol of the LGBTQ community and what it means to that community today. Julian is
Okay.
a mermaid and Pink is for boys are two stories that challenge gender stereotypes and
Okay, I'm not going to argue with that. Pink actually was originally intended to be a boy color, historically. You can't argue that either. That's a historical fact. But I think putting a fucking gender to a color anyway is kind of fucking dumb as fuck. Anyway, I like purple. I like certain shades of pink. You know, so this pink that's right here in my little background here, I fucking love that color. But that's not like a gender thing. It's not a sexuality thing. But I guarantee you, this book somehow explains that it is. That's the problem. No one has a problem with people existing and being this way, but we do have a problem with you fucking around trying to bring children involved in
encourage
this.
boys
This is just
to
not
be who
good.
they want to be and to not conform to what society tells them that they have to. A Family is a Family is a Family is a story about all kinds of different family structures and what it really means to be a part of a family.
Okay, that seems like a pretty decent book. It doesn't have nothing to do with LGBTQ. I mean, I'm pretty sure there is a person or persons that are, but the point is, you know, you can have
Hula
shit.
Melody, Hula Warrior is a
You can have shit that's like this, even this.
story of a non binary person who
But this whole non-binary thing, like,
challenges gender roles to
you're gonna regret
they
it.
are on their journey to become a hula warrior. Let me know if you have any more recommendations.
I have the biggest recommendation: quit teaching and just get into philosophy. Stay away from children and get into philosophy. Just that's all I ask that people that are like that do. Stay the fuck away from children. Get into philosophy. Teach your shit in a philosophy class. I mean, it's a win-win. We don't have to worry about children being fucking manipulated by your weirdo agenda and your weird because it is an agenda. You cannot tell me that it's not when you're wanting to teach this to children. I've seen it to the point of it being little kids, like in kindergarten, that they're trying to teach it to, and it's like, listen, they don't need to know that. That's not the time nor the place to try to teach them any of that. Not a damn bit. Okay, I'm pretty sure I was yet again being sabotaged. For some reason, when I swap over to this scene right here, it does some weird shit and it changes not only my audio input but output, but it's ridiculous. Alright, let's see what this person is saying. I just read it. I literally just read it. Oh my god.
Hell no. To the no, no, no. Hell to the no.
I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can watch this one. I look over and I read that and that's horrible.
So this person was complaining about her son being asked his pronouns at school. First of all, if you think pronouns don't have a place in the classroom, you clearly don't understand grammar. But there's two problems with
Yeah, they pronouns totally are important in grammar, but they are not to be a social uh, stigma thing. Like they should not be pushed out there as like some kind of weird weapon towards people. They shouldn't be weaponized in any form of fashion. And that's honestly what you have done. I know you have.
not
You can't
asking
lie.
pronouns to everybody. First, it puts the pressure on the child or teen to come up to a teacher who they may not feel is a safe adult yet and say they don't use their assigned at birth pronouns. And
I can only imagine how it would have been like, if one of these people right here existed and they needed a safe person to tell themselves that I don't even know what to be honest with you, I don't even know what the fuck they. Honestly, if you're working with children, you should be safe. You should be a safe person. Period. But I really don't think that somebody who is hung up on pronouns and uh, I want to say mansplaining this shit to me, because I mean, how else would you describe this? Anyway, let's move on. This thing is
Second, it then creates
irritating
not only
me.
for myself as a young professional, but also for my students, many of whom are queer or LGBT, identify as LGBT.
That's crazy. How many kids do you have, and if many of them identify as that, uh, is that are they drinking that same water that a certain somebody said was turning all the freaking frogs gay? Because goddamn, like how many kids? When I was in school, like we had like 5 or 6 gay people in the whole fucking school that were out anyway. And everybody's coming out journey is totally different, and I totally understand that. But at the same time, I don't understand how the fuck everybody in that whole class mostly came out as gay or lesbian or probably trans, and she's in her story. What I'm saying is I highly fucking doubt this is any truth coming from this person. And the reason why is because when someone like this, who is pleading for social acceptance, and they need to push this fucking narrative that they're pushing onto children. But again, we make it known that they're pushing this on the children. I cannot stand that. I just can't. Let children be children and just grow the fuck up. They'll turn into whatever they want to turn into as they get older, as they make those decisions, as they grow.
And a couple of small steps that I have taken that I think other people might appreciate as well is I I have made sure that my subtle voice is heard. So as you can see, I have a shirt on that says "This is how I use my teacher voice." It's from Miss Frazzled. If you don't follow her, she's great. But I use this to show kids subtly, hey, I'm here for you. Like I'm all about supporting you. I also have a pride flag in my classroom, and I know that's not safe for everybody to have right now, but you could also put like a small sticker up. You could also just like subtly have rainbows.
Someone once told me that when you're lying, it's really hard to breathe. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that.
On your desk, all of that stuff. So just subtly letting kids know, hey, I'm queer too, or hey, I'm an ally.
Texas legislator proposes ban on minors watching drag shows. State Rep. Brian Slatton said a ban was necessary to protect children from perverted adults. Also me.
Like, hey, I know that you're.
So, I mean, I personally think it's not even a good thing to do that, even though a baby's not gonna know anything about it and they're not doing anything perverse or anything. I just don't think it's right to intertwine, excuse me, the interactions of a adult performer with a fucking child, a baby, a child, a teen. It doesn't matter. I don't believe that is a good thing. I believe there's some psychological things that we can be studying based off of the people who rabidly want that to be a thing. They rabidly want that to be a thing. And that's not good. So, I'll just move on.
Exploring, that's something we want to do in our rooms on our own private time, which means that
this is not something. I don't know where she's going with this, but oh my god, I just need to let this play through.
If there's nobody else in the room and that they're able to do that and they're not, supposed to be anywhere else at the time. So they can enjoy themselves and they can enjoy exploring. And you want to make sure that, hey, while you're exploring, it's really important that you stay safe, which means that we make sure your hands are clean, that there's no dirt up under your nails so we can prevent infections or anything that might be uncomfortable for your vulva. And it's as simple as that, right? There's a great article on scarymommy.com that talks about we do not touch our vulvas at the
Hi.
Okay, I think she was trying to teach parents how to explain. If I gather that correctly, I am entirely too high for this, and the way the shit just built up to that, it kind of just made it look like some freaky shit was gonna go down. And honestly, if she is a teacher, she should not be teaching that with students, but with parents. If she's teaching that with parents, fine, fucking awesome. But if she is teaching that to students, that is not her place. Not her fucking place. And yeah. Oh, what do we got here?
My name is Johnny, and I use he, him pronouns.
Hi, and I'm Conchi, and
Hi, my name is Stony Mike, and I use Apache helicopter pronouns. Those are my pronouns. You will respect them, or I will send an HE rocket straight to your fucking dome.
I use she, her pronouns.
And we're here to talk about pronouns.
What is a pronoun? A pronoun is how we identify ourselves apart from our name, and it's also how people refer to us in conversations.
Using the right pronouns is a really simple way to affirm someone's identity. It is a signal of acceptance and respect.
If it's a signal of acceptance and respect, how do we go?
Well, that's all fine and dandy and everything, but I have long hair, and I have a very distinguished type of facial hair. Like very few people have specific traits of this facial hair, at least in the area that I am in. And not a fucking soul has a problem, using proper grammar. I don't think any soul on earth who is speaking English has a problem using proper grammar. But what I think people have a problem with is, say we have another ma'am situation. That ma'am did not look like a ma'am. And I'm going to say that one more time. That ma'am did not look like a ma'am. So, if it don't look like a ma'am, and I don't say, excuse me, ma'am, I say, excuse me, sir, don't get butt hurt. Just be like, oh, well, I don't really identify as a sir, so my pronoun would be she, or she and her. You know, don't try to give me no zim zams and get all butthurt about it, or I'm not gonna respect anything. Honestly, I'm not gonna respect your pronouns, and I might not just respect your physical fucking boundaries if you push me too much. I mean, that's what happens. You antagonize people with dumb shit. Some people they come unglued on you. And I got a really good tolerance level. I can hold back my frustrations, and I can discuss things and try to get to know you. But um, the disrespect that comes with trying to force how I speak is not cool. That's not cool. That's very authoritarian, and I don't play that game. But someone who is looking like a he, I'm gonna say he. I have a trans friend who looks very much like a he. I call him he. I have no problem calling him he. There's no issues calling him he. He looks like he. But there's some, and I am truly in belief that they are only doing it for like a social reason. They are not doing it because they have gender dysphoria or anything like that. They're doing it because they just want to do it. There's some people who don't look like they have done anything to try to transition or anything like that, and they also have some kind of weird made up pronoun that don't make no damn sense. So those people can get banned.
About creating a safe space for everybody.
That's a good question. A really good way to do that is to use inclusive language. Instead of saying something like, hey guys, you can say, hey everyone, or hey team.
Yeah, and now that you say that, another way that
I mean, depending on the situation, that's literally how the fuck you would speak. Because guess what? That's how proper English is spoken. These people are fucking dumb nuts, man. I swear to God.
we could show that we're allies and that we accept everybody is to maybe include our pronouns in our emails, or like we just did, introduce ourselves using our pronouns.
But what would I do if I misgender someone?
I think the first thing to recognize is that it's not the end of the world. You correct yourself and move on, or you accept the correction and move on. The most important thing I can tell you is do not put the burden of making you feel good about your mistake on the person that you just misgendered.
Oh, thank you for telling me that.
Yeah, and another tip for you to remember.
I mean, wait. Oh, thank you for telling me that. Whew. That that one got me. Okay, so yeah, moving on.
Today on the last day, I finally decided to come out to my kids. And my kids are older, they're 4 and 5. And the way that I did it is just read them a book about this teddy bear that kind of comes out as a trans girl. And it's really nice and it's very simple. They understood it right away. And I think what made me cry the most was that afterwards, like, I kind of looked at them and there was just this silence in the room. And I just thought, like, oh my God, now they see me as a totally different person. And before this, they loved me. I was such, one of their favorite teachers, and it felt so good to have that. And I think that's one of the biggest fears I had is that as soon as they found out about me, they would lose all love for me. And then
Honestly, you could have gone your entire life not saying a word to these children about your sexual orientation and your gender reassignment, and they would have never questioned anything. This is all about you. This fucking pompous piece of fucking shit. I'm getting angry at these people. Honestly, I don't like these people. And the reason why I don't like these people is because they are just bringing children into their shit, and they're at the end of the day, like this person did. It's all about them. They just need some type of affirmation, so they're seeking it from fucking children. From children. Why? Why are you seeking affirmation from children? That's not cool. I'm sorry, that's just not cool. I don't care if you get offended by that. Get offended by that. I hope you get offended by that. Because then I want you to start questioning why I'm saying what I'm saying and then why you are getting offended. There has to be a reason. Just think about it.
one of my kids breaks the silence and she gets up and she just is like,
She just gets up and she just no.
Isn't kid friendly. I'm saying that kids and kink can coexist at Pride in a totally fine way. There's a nuance here that making
Dead ass. This is where I'm telling you that's where they're going. This is just one of the many stages of these people, man. I'm not even gonna fucking listen to this fucking nonsense. Kinks and children cannot coexist. You keep them separate. I have never been. I've not been a separatist ever, but when it comes to things like this, you can call me that, because that's not cool at all.
Going to see my friend, I could ask, where do they live? Since I don't know your friend's gender identity. And some individuals prefer they as a pronoun, like meat or body.
It's not even what they're saying. It's how they're reacting. It's a weird, rabid reaction. It's something that is. It's just so sickening the way they have this glee that comes from a very very sick place. It just looks like it comes from a very sick place.
Or are you an agent of a corrupt political system? Well, baby, it's time to.
What?
Finally,
Are you a mandated reporter? Or are you an agent of a corrupt political system? Well, baby, it's time to figure it out. Personally, I'm a social worker, which means I'm an agent of change and chaos. You know what you're supposed to be reporting, and you know what it's a political talking point. It doesn't matter if it's law, because your entire licensing and education has been predicated on the fact that you are to do no harm, and you are to protect and serve your clients. If you're worried about subpoenas, let me give you a little tip. If it didn't get into the notes, it didn't happen. Let me give you an example. I have an unwanted pregnancy, and I really think I'm going to have to go out of state to have an abortion. Client is having an unspecified adjustment disorder and is in need of community resources. I'm transgender and I just can't deal with this anymore. Client has an adjustment disorder with depression and anxiety. Today we discussed healthy coping skills to deal with daily life stressors. They can subpoena my ass, and I will just tell them to refer to the notes. Because if you're not willing to do a little jail time to protect the privacy and safety of your clients, you have no business being in the field.
All the way. Full send.
Fucker.
See, this right here. I will curb stomp any motherfucker who comes my way trying to force this on me. I can't do it. This is where I will not, and I repeat, I will not fucking sit by and let it happen. You cannot change fucking common sense shit. You cannot change the way someone is. You have to be more egalitarian. And when I say you can't change how someone is, I'm not talking about how you identify. You can identify that all day long. Fishes, and fish shelves. You can do that all day long. But the moment you try to enforce that upon me, because I'm not fucking doing that, I won't do that. I'm sorry, I can't. I won't be able to do that without laughing. I'm gonna laugh at you. And while I'm saying it, I'm like, okay, fish, you know what a fucking fish is in prison? Like, what the fuck? Like, why would you want to be called that? Anyway, they might like that kind of shit.
A lot of white allies in a
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Why is this freedom of speech shit going across? I see, you know, I'm coming at the whole libs of TikTok, but I can't really find any good videos of conservatives of TikTok. I will try to find some, but you know, most conservatives, if they got a dumb thought, they usually keep it to themselves. So you got to admire them for that.
accomplices ask, how can they support black and indigenous people of color? And
This guy's a fucking
sometimes I
full
really don't know
sin
what to say,
racist, by
but
the way.
here's one easy way. Just don't have babies.
At this point, I am
pretty much full-time teaching high school Spanish and a little bit of full-face drag. My admin's actually very okay with me wearing heels. I'm coming to school in drag sometimes. I used to put on makeup, but now it's too early in the morning, so that's not happening anymore. But like, yeah, they're pretty cool with it.
Yeah, and also today I noticed you posted a young lady who wanted to not be called a young lady. She wanted to be called a bird. Libs, where do you find this stuff?
Yeah, so most of it is from TikTok, especially the teachers. They're very high.
Okay, so this is the speech, the thing about the actual TikTok people. And listen, freedom of speech really is being censored. Speaking your mind is very hard to do. And if your mind differs from a very black and white viewpoint, if it differs from that and you have a gray viewpoint, it is very much censored. I hear it from people who are on the Trump side of things and the people who are over on the other side of the field as well. And the truth is, you guys get your fucking opinions across. Matter of fact, you're in the national news. It's people like me who never get our opinions across, actually. It's people who have a gray thought of mindset instead of the whole black and white narrative. We have traits of, both conservative and liberal. And when people like that exist, we don't really get hurt at all. We either have to pick a fucking side and try to change some minds with our perspective, or follow suit in direction. And I'm not a follow suit in direction, and I don't believe in coercing people either, or trying to manipulate people. If I have a good idea and I speak it, people will just follow it because it's a good idea. Not because I forced it, not because I convinced people to do it. Just because it was a good idea. So, let me move past this because this is just probably that one news article, and that's fine. What they were talking about. I was just
Pride and Less Prejudice just sent me some free books, and I'm freaking out. Hi, Rainbow. I love this. And then Sharice's Big Boys. These are my books. I'm so excited. So their mission is to create a more inclusive classroom.
when your entire identity revolves around freaking virtue signaling. Wow. Oh my lord. And like I said, I have nothing against gay people or any of that. I have friends that are gay, I have friends that are trans. But we all agree that children should not be brought into this, and that's what ultimately this person is yet again wanting. I just went through this whole thing, and here we got this. I like these little dank ass little pictures that they always like to put of Trump and shit, but let's be real. The other side of this weird the liberal shit, the other side of it, the political side of liberals and conservatives are cults. They are fucking absolute disturbing cults. That's what they are. Big time. Big time. So, what have we learned? We've learned that there's a big handful of people who are far left that are predatorial. That's what we've learned. That's all we've learned. Anyway, I'm your main man, Mikey D. Be sure to fucking like and subscribe. I am out. Peace.